episode 399.
I know.
Wow.
There's only two?
That's what I'm standing roses in this one.
We'll bring that out as we chat, so that's a hint of it, Carrie. Welcome to Yogaxpress, your virtual stretch clinic that helps you move the body to still the mind. My name is Banu Suresh. I'm your host for this program. Yogaxpress airs Monday through Friday on Time Warner 57, RCN 84, and FiOS 35. 1:30 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, that's New York time. If you miss us on any of those specific days, you can always go online, mnn.org. If you don't have a TV in front of you or in your home, go on your computer, www.mnn.org. That stands for Manhattan Neighborhood Network, which is where we film these episodes. We tape twice a week on average. Some weeks we're luckier than others. We tape 3 times a week, so we get our workout as well. Today, before I move on to introduce our amazing teamwork with the crew, I'd also like to reintroduce a very special guest who has been in our show before. I believe in about 3 or 4 episodes before, Sophie Herbert. Sophie is a yoga teacher in New York, and are you teaching in New York City, Sophie?
I am, yes. I teach at Sangha House, which is on 28th Street between Park and Madison. And then I teach in Park Slope at Park Slope Yoga Center, and also a new place, Prana Yoga, which is in Carroll Gardens.
Oh, you're all over the place.
Pretty a lot of commuting, but it's good.
Is your schedule on your website?
It is, well, it's on sophieherbert.com, and if it's not posted, you can email me, and I can send people my please email me.
Look up Sophie. Sophie Herbert, SophieHerbert.com, and yes, we do see it up there. It's on your screen right now. Look her up or Google Sophie. She's all over the place teaching a lot of people to do a lot of mindful things, because I'm aware, Sophie, that besides your yoga practice and your yoga teaching, you also are doing a lot of non-profit stuff, aren't you? Tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, well, I work at the orphanage in India, so through independently and also through Yoga Gives Back. And I was so grateful that I write a blog for Whole Living magazine.
Right.
And this past month, 2 people just emailed me and they said, "Oh, I was so inspired by this blog about the orphanage. I want to support a child." So
Wonderful.
I know, so generous. A woman, Jasmine from St. Louis, and one other lady, Shafali. And it was so wonderful to see people just wanting to give support like that.
How can people reach out to you? On the
Through
blog?
on my blog. You can find it on my website.
Okay.
And then if you want to look at that specific blog, you can email me and I'll send it to you. And also,
Give them your email too.
Oh yes, sophie.herbert@gmail.com. So pretty easy.
You said Yoga Gives Back.
Yogagivesback.org, and it's a wonderful nonprofit that funds microfinancing in India for women, and we also pay for education and everything for orphan children.
What exactly happens when someone supports, someone wants to sponsor this program that you have, or maybe sponsor a child? What exactly do they do? Do they reach out to you first?
Yeah, they
What-
reach out to me and they say, I was so interested, I would like to sponsor, and then I email the orphanage,
Okay.
and they tell me what children need sponsors still. So
okay.
they'll give me the list, or they'll say, okay, this particular girl, we're looking to sponsor her. This boy, we're looking to sponsor him, and that's how. If they want to do a smaller donation, we can send it to through Yoga Gives Back, or we can send it through American Service to India, which is a friend of mine organization, and they 30-year plus organization. They've been building schools throughout India, and really amazing women's
Is this
empowerment.
mostly
with this.
North India, South India? Which part of India?
The orphanage is in Karnataka. It's in Chamrajnagar.
Right.
Yes, and but Asti, we also in Yoga Gives Back, we work together at a place in West Bengal, and then in Karnataka we do a lot of microfinancing in Bangalore through Gramin Kuta.
Wonderful. If you want to know more about Sophie's work, the great work that she's already doing, go to yogagivesback.org. So that's YOGAGIVESBACK, yogagivesback.org. Also Google Sophie Herbert, www.sophieherbert.com. I don't know why. I think Yogaxpress was at the top of my mind. So if you want to go visit my website too, feel free. It's yogaxpress.com, YOGAXPRESS.com. And in fact, Sophie is on our wellness panel. So if you want to know more about Sophie and the work she does, just check out the wellness panel page, and Sophie is right there. So like I said, she's all over the place. Sophie, our guests may be just a little bit late today,
Sure.
but I know you have something exciting planned for us.
Yes.
Give me a little peep into what you want, or what
Well,
you're going to take me through.
I want us to start from the ground up and do some standing poses
Okay.
as well. We're gonna start here. We'll eventually move into down dog. Eventually come forward into forward bend, and work a little too on the side seams of the body.
Okay.
Because I think it's spring cleaning time. I know in winter I get tense in my shoulders and I
Right.
get tense in my sides, and we're trying to undo that today.
Hey, anything that'll help me get rid of my love handles.
No, I don't know what you're talking about, but muscles can get tight and be like,
no,
oh, so.
I need to stretch there. Yeah. Okay.
So let's start. So we're sitting here. We can start here in Vajrasana.
Actually, give me just a moment. I forgot. I would like to thank our team, our crew.
Oh, of course.
Today,
Yes.
Josiane Hurd, our director, Chris Williams in control room with Josiane, and we have Harry Lee and Alex Lamel on camera. Thank you so much for the amazing teamwork. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Stephanie Aline for the studio gobos, the lights, and the sound system right here. Cesar De Para has created the background music for the body of this program, the body music for today's episode, just for Yoga Express. Opening track is from Sapta Tandavam. So with that said, I'm all yours.
Wonderful. Great. So we'll start here in Vajrasana,
Okay.
which is sitting on the shins, and the feet are just comfortably underneath the seat. Our heels are under our sitting bones. And then just close the eyes and just let's zone in and find our space. And just start to notice the breath. And as you do that, let your shoulders and let your elbows soften. And just with each inhale, try to grow a little bit taller. Just imagine a string gently drawing the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And with each exhale, maintaining that length, but just finding this sense of like a washing over of the body, any tension, any holding, let that be washed away. Soften the jaw, the brow, the muscles behind the eyes and the eyes. And just bring a little more focus to the breath. I want you to try to feel the breath not only in the front of the lungs, but also in the back of the lungs. And just noting this really subtle flexibility of the rib cage with each inhale and each exhale. Slowly as you inhale, start to reach the arms up, let the eyes drift open, press the palms up above, and then really mindfully just bring the hands down in prayer and bow the chin to the sternum. And then as you inhale, reach up once more, lifting up, press the palms. And let's exhale and twist to the right. So go ahead and twist towards me, and you can either have the right hand on your back or just on the floor. Go ahead and breathe here, lengthen up. Exhale to twist, relax the shoulders, breathing in. Exhaling, and you want to make sure that you're not too twisty in the neck, so I wouldn't want to go like this, but just a nice neutral space. And then as you inhale, come back, reach up, grow tall, press the palms. And then as you exhale, take it to the second side. Good. And breathe here, just resting the left fingers behind you. Exhaling. And breathing in. Exhaling. Breathe for 2. Grow taller. Grow more relaxed as you exhale. And then one more breath in. And out. And then as you inhale, come back, reach the arms up, press the palms, and let's slowly start to come forward and just take a child's pose. So reaching out in front of you. You can let your head rest. You readjust on the mat as you need. I'm going to slide back as well. You're just letting the heels, the seat rather root down towards the heels and really soften. And then as you inhale, let's come forward onto all fours. And go ahead and tuck the toes. Open your chest so broad and look a little ahead. And then from here, let's stretch back into a downward facing dog. So just letting the heels come to or towards the earth. It's not important that they touch. What's important is that you're comfortable. Spread wide in the fingers. And then just let the head go. So really softening down. Good. Breathing. Exhaling. And then as you inhale, lift high on your toes. And then as you exhale, bend your knees deeply and just keep drawing the belly to the thighs. Good, and you can stay looking backwards so the neck is super relaxed. And then reach the sitting bones up and back. Take one more breath in. And then extend the legs, downward facing dog. And let's just take a breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Good. One more like that. Breathe in. Exhale. Let's slowly start to inch the feet forward. So if you need to modify, you'll bend your knees. But just think of it a breath cycle per step. You can spread out across your toes. And then eventually in time, finding a forward bend. Letting your feet be hip-width apart. So we'll just give a little extra space to start an Uttanasana, a little bend in the knees. And then inhale, come to a flat back and let your hands come up on your shins. And this is a really nice way to open the heart. Breathe in, broaden the chest. And let's just slowly fold back down as you exhale. Inhale once more, just come to that nice flat back and open up across the heart. And then fold and release and take a hold of opposite elbows and just stay here. So if there's tenderness in the back, you'd want to bend more in the knees to protect. And if there's ever, a sense of this not being comfortable, then you should definitely release it. But if it feels good, staying and breathing. Let's switch arms and take the opposite elbow. Soften down. Slowly let the arms go. Bend your knees. And one vertebra at a time, start to roll your way up to stand mindfully, letting the head be super heavy. And then roll the shoulders open and back. Good. And just bring the feet together, finding Tadasana. Good. So mountain pose. Either the inner edges of your feet touching, but if that's uncomfortable, then do bring a little space between them. I prefer it together, but many people prefer a little room, so do what's best for you. Bring the hands in prayer. And then inhale now, because we're close, I'm going to reach the arms forward. Step back a little. All right. So reach the arms out and up. Press the palms, grow tall. And then as you exhale, let's fold over the legs slowly. Uttanasana, forward bend. Inhale to a flat back like we did before. And then folding back down as you exhale. Inhale, lifting from the back of the heart. Go ahead and slowly lift up. Reach the arms up. And then hands down as you exhale. Good. Inhale, lifting up again, grow tall. So this is a half sun salutation. Fold down as you exhale. Very good to do in the morning. Inhale, lengthen forward. Good. Fold down. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up, grow tall. Hands down as you exhale. Let's just do one more like that. Good. Breathe in, lifting up. Exhale, folding, and really breathing nice and fluidly. Inhale, lengthening. Good. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, come all the way up. You can always bend your knees, right, if there's any sensitivity in the back. Hands down, Tadasana. So let's do a side tilt now. Reach the arms out and up. Steeple your fingers. And I like to hook at first, one thumb over the other and just remember which one. So when we switch it, so I have right thumb over left. Breathe and grow really tall and try to hug your arms towards your ears, but relax the shoulders. Breathe and lengthen more, good. And then tilt up and over to the right side. And breathe for 3. Try to root the right foot down, out. Breathing in and out. 1 more, good. And then as you inhale, come back. And then up and over to the second side, breathing in.
That feels great.
Exhale, isn't that nice? Yeah, breathing in. One side might be a little tighter than the other too, so just noticing that and not being judgmental, just observing. Inhale, center, and let's bring the hands down. Letting go. How does that feel?
Feels good.
Spacious? Oh,
Yeah.
good. One thing that I want to tell our viewers about the side tilt is that it's important, and I was talking to my class earlier today, when we tilt, to lift up and then go over. So for example, this would be my, my maximum. I don't want to go there though, because if I go there, I'm losing my strength and I'm
I find
collapsing.
that too. I think because we all have different body anatomical proportions, and I find when I take my shoulders up, my shoulders tend to go up to my chin. I know I'm supposed to put it down, but then my hands don't come together.
Let's do another variation.
So it's a compromise. So is it okay if I bend my elbows? When
You
I
can do
that?
this,
Oh,
or
you mean when I go up?
When you go
can
up,
I
you
bend
could
my
also do
elbows?
this. Take one arm up.
How
relax.
about if I do this? Can I
Oh,
bend my
yeah,
elbows? Is
yeah.
that okay?
It's fine.
Sometimes I'm not able to take it all the way straight
That's
up.
fine.
So is it okay? All right.
Or over time, play
That way
with
my
it.
shoulders will come down.
And that's a very good question. To make sure that you adapt. Maybe over time they might straighten, but being sure you're comfortable today and there's no
Maybe in the
strain.
next 50 years. Oh my God. Straight
You can
up.
even do this though. Look, like this.
Right, we still get that stretch.
And
That's
coming
true.
back.
That's true.
And like this, and that's a really good way to open. But again, making sure too that you don't collapse
Right.
into it. You don't want to pull anything or strain. So let's work on a little balancing poses. Nothing like a tree pose in the spring. So a blossoming one at
Well,
that.
yeah, that's right. All the trees are blooming. Why don't we?
Exactly. So bring your right foot, just fan out across the 4 corners of the foot, and let's start to come and stand. And we have the extra challenge of the carpet here. So if you're practicing at home, standing on a hard surface is a little easier. We're here and we're going to press the thigh and the foot together and bring the hands in prayer. And then you can do so much. You could lift up in the arms. You could open up in your heart. So feel free to be playful. You could even, take a side tilt here. And I think that it's important to know that you
That's
can
something
vary.
new. I haven't tried that.
Oh, it's a hard one.
So it's the tree swaying in the breeze. Okay, let me try that
Yeah.
side. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I never tried that before.
It's interesting, right? And you can
Yeah.
just as long as you kind of commit to
Right. To feel
commit
the stretch.
to feel it and stay there for a few breaths.
Just so.
Let's come out of that one.
Oh,
Letting it come down. Balance out, even out. If you need to circle an ankle or two, you can do that. And then
oh,
let's
just to
take
get the blood flowing again.
Totally. Up to you. Second side, lifting the right leg. So you're balancing on the left foot. You really are pressing the foot and the thigh together and lifting gently in the right quadricep. So there's a sense of drawing in, which will help you grow taller. And then hands in prayer. You can go ahead and, see, look, I'm in a very stable tree today. Lifting up and soften down. Good. And play, you can even, bring your hands behind you. You could find reverse prayer. So usually if I'm practicing, I'll commit to variation and then stay there for 5 breaths or so. And one thing too is to look at a consistent spot in front of you.
Something that doesn't move. helps
Yes,
me.
definitely. And breathe here. Exhaling. Let's take about 3 more breaths. Out.
It's good that you mentioned the word breathe. Sometimes when we're trying to focus so hard, we forget to breathe.
You're like, yeah, so you want to definitely free it up. Inhale the arms back up. Bring the leg forward. And let's just come and stand. Tadasana. So now, I just want to do a simple triangle variation. So, how about, would you like to face me or should I face you?
Let's face that camera.
That sounds great. So, stepping back and right foot back. We're in a pretty wide straddle. And a good way to tell is if you reach your arms out and draw a line from your fingers down to the floor. The feet pretty much draw up, line up with that line. And then turn the right toes towards the back. And just setting up here. lift up your toes and really strengthen through the legs. And you want to make sure too, I'm an example of hyperextension. You don't want this to happen, which is this locking back of the knee.
Alright.
So you don't want to get too flexible there. Breathe in, let's grow tall. And then come forward slowly and just take the right hand down on the right shin. You can be higher if you need. And then take your left hand to the left hip. Roll back a little. See this, see either the wall on this side or see the ceiling. Be sure your neck is comfortable though. And then reach up. And let's breathe here, relaxing. Exhaling. Breathing in. Exhaling. For variation, we'll start to reach the top arm of your ear. And just relax the shoulder back. And so I find my neck is a little strained today. I'm going to look down a little or just change it. So feel free, if something doesn't feel right in the posture, you should change it and alter it. Let's all slowly come up. Good. And then turn your right toes in, parallel the feet. Turn your left toes towards the front. And then setting up for that second side. So again, nice strong position in your legs. Breathe in. And then very slowly start to come forward as you exhale. Go ahead and reach up in that top arm.
You're talking about one side cooperating more than the other side.
What do you feel?
I feel it in this posture.
It's hard
The other
tighter?
yeah, this side it feels a little stiffer than the other.
Yeah, noticing that. And if you're practicing at home, as we all are as the viewers, you can always hold the tight side a little bit longer. But don't hold
I
the
need to
loose
work
side
on this
longer.
side. Right.
Yeah, good.
That's a good tip. So stretch and hold it a little longer together.
Yeah, and this is a great pose to practice against a wall. I was seeing that in my class earlier.
Okay.
Oh, they were so happy. So reaching the arm over the ear, and yeah, for example, like maybe it doesn't feel comfortable to look up. I might choose to look down a little more, and you want to relax the shoulder away from the ear as well. And breathing in through the nose and out the nose. And make sure your toes are relaxed. Let's come up. I think that's about even per side. Parallel your feet to the middle, and let's take a forward bend here. Prasarita. Bring your hands on the hips. And really parallel the feet a little bit more, so it's almost like you're a little pigeon-toed. Yeah, you might want to block.
Just
Turn your toes in just a little bit more, and turn your heels out a little more. And so you really have a nice paralleling, and then pick up your toes just to activate a little more through the quadriceps. Breathe and reach the arms out, let the toes come back down. Bring the hands on your hips. Inhale, lift up in your heart, and then go ahead and slowly fold down over the legs. Bring your hands down on whatever is available. So you could have 2 blocks if you need. Good. And then let's do this. Come to a flat back and broaden the chest. So you really want to kind of look ahead and open up the heart center. And then very slowly you're going to fold back down. The head moves towards the earth. It doesn't need to come there. Maybe it does come there, but it shouldn't be something dramatic. And it's not about getting it there. Just the gravity work. And you put, yes, just as Banu's doing, wonderful. I love that variation, is putting the head on a block. So you're going to get this idea of a restorative posture.
Hey, Sophie.
Yeah, how's that? Nice?
Yeah.
And roll the shoulders away from the ears. And breathe in. 5 breaths is very good here. You could hold a little more if you'd like. And then very slowly, start to come up just to a flat back when you feel you're ready to release. If your low back is sensitive, you might bend the knees. Bring the hands on the hips, and you'll inhale up to stand. And this part is fun. You can either step or you can hop the feet together lightly.
No high impact stuff.
No, yeah, exactly. So if you're feeling sprightly,
As we grow older,
you can do
I
that.
find that if I do a lot of jumping, which young people find it more effective, but for me, if I do a lot of jumping, the shock that goes through your body is
Then-
just too much.
Yeah, then you shouldn't do it. Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I
Then you
avoid
should
that.
just do this. You do this. 1, 2, or however many
Right.
steps as needed.
I
So,
wiggle my feet.
good. So let's start to come down back on the ground from here and move into
We did
something a
pretty
little
well.
more
We have 5
relaxing.
minutes.
Oh, great. I feel fresh already. So
Yeah.
inhale, lift up, grow tall, and then go ahead and dive down over the legs. And here's another example. You could step to down dog. If you're young and sprightly at home and you're feeling like, oh, I want to go and do this, you can hop back. That's totally optional.
I'm good.
And I often...
I'm sorry, I was supposed to go back?
Step back. No, step back. Gosh, that's the difference. Yeah, so it's really good. And in my practice, I don't always jump either. Some days I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Let your knees come down. Come back to child's pose again. Soften. And go. Breathe. Exhaling. Breathing in. And out. And then to come and rest, what we'll do is you're just going to slowly come up and move onto your back. Let's turn our heads this way. And before we take Shavasana, just reach your, this is one of my favorite things to do, legs and the arms straight up in the air. It's like a dead insect or something. And breathing. Hopefully feel a little more alive than that. And separate the legs a little.
That's
and
the great thing when we do our yoga practice. We look relaxed, but we're still totally alert, right?
Yeah,
Mentally.
it's like balance, stability and comfort, awareness and softening. And soften. I like to think about all the joints just plugging back into their sockets. You can even do a little lift and soften. And then limb by limb, I'm just gonna start to lower down one leg, the other leg, one arm, the other arm. And you wanna make sure you feel nice and even. Roll the shoulder blades closer. And if you had any sensitivity in the low back, you might put a bolster or blankets underneath, or pillows underneath your knees so they're elevated. And let's close the eyes. And just as you hold this Shavasana in corpse pose, scan the body, just sending the awareness from the toes, up the legs, through the torso, front and back, through the arms, to the fingers, the neck, and the head. And just with each movement, thinking the body is relaxing, the mind is relaxing. At home, you can continue to stay past the program. You should stay in Shavasana about 5 to 10 minutes to absorb all of the work and all of the effort that you put into your practice. And we'll just demonstrate how to come out, so just moving fingers and toes. We'll turn the head a little left, turn it a little right. And then bending your knees and rolling to the right side, just kind of curling up in a fetal position, letting yourself rest down. Letting yourself be pleasantly grounding into the floor. And then pressing into the left hand, come up and sit. And kind of tall spine.
Great timing. How are we doing for time, Josie Ann? Oh, the credits are rolling, so we're doing perfect. We have about a minute. Before I forget my manners, once again, I'd like to thank the great teamwork with our crew, Josie Ann Hurd, our director, Chris Williams, tech director. We have Harry Lee and Alex Lamel on camera. Thank you so much for helping out. And thanks also to Stephanie Aline for the great visual effects that we have behind us, the gobos, and Cesar Dipara for the body music, opening music from Sapta Tandavam. Sophie Herbert, that was an amazing experience. That really, I was full of energy before we started, but at the same time, I'm re-energized now, but in a very calm sort of way. So that was great. That was a wonderful experience. Look up Sophie. Check her out on Google Sophie, or just go directly to her website, www.sophieherbert.com. We're going to have that back at the end of the rolling credits, or probably the credits have already rolled. So just look her up, Sophieherber.